Don't play with it, don't be dishonest. Still.
Guys, I know. You don't have to tell me. I know I'm the worst. I haven't posted in 2 months. I disappeared without telling y'all anything. That's on me. First off though, peep the jersey, Raptors, Vince Carter. You already know. Yeah. Also, while we're on the topic of fire jerseys, dude, the Raptors one goes hard, right? Hold that thought. Hold please. Hold please. I'm doing a vintage collection. Dude, right? Dude. We got Andre Karolinko, AK-47, because I'm a Jazz fan. Naturally, have to get this one, right? And dude, I got the collection too with the Ja Morant Vancouver Grizzlies. Like, bro, my vintage collection is about to go crazy. I'm telling y'all. Okay, I'm coming back. Anyhow, my apologies for being gone, guys. Oh, also, I changed the setup a little bit. What we thinking? I still got my leg. Peep the leg. Gotta always have the leg back there. Bro, I'll move my mini fridge because I gotta stay hydrated. Don't ask me what's in the mini fridge because it's only beer and Gatorade. But, gotta stay hydrated, right? Changed up my background just a little bit. Just gonna have some knickknacks there on my PS4 controllers. A pack of cards that I'm not gonna open. I bought those. I spent $60 on it. I bought it back in 2020. Have yet to open it. My plan is to wait like probably another 2-3 years. I don't know. Maybe open it, see if there's any cool cards in it. I don't know. Call me crazy. If I don't know. You tell me. And then of course got my Deadpool in the corner. Got my Jazz thing. Peep Travis Kelce up there. Brother made me that. Hank Aaron, one of the greatest baseball players of all time. And then, of course, my basketball because y'all know me. I'm either Ben Simmons or Steph Curry out there. I'm going to brick the frick out of the layup or I might drain a 3 in your face. We really don't know. But anyhow, that's a lot of yapping. I'm back, y'all. I apologize for disappearing. And I know, guys, I haven't made a video in like 2 months. I'm looking at my channel right now. The last video I did was NBA Free Agency Frenzy. And that was 2 months ago, guys. And then I kind of like just disappeared off the face of the yard. My apologies on that. I didn't communicate anything. I took a break for mental health and I should have communicated that with you guys. That's on me. My goal and my purpose of this channel was to communicate, to interact with you guys, and to also talk freely about sports. And I failed at both of those because I stopped talking about sports and I didn't communicate with my audience at all. So from the bottom of my heart, I apologize to you guys, but I am back on the grind. My last video I did was NBA free agency. Since then, so much has happened in the world. Obviously, football has started. Micah Parsons got traded. Micah Parsons, guys, Micah Parsons is no longer a Dallas Cowboy. Micah Parsons is a Green Bay Packer. As we speak, actually, it's actually going to be funny. You will see it on my TikTok, and I'll talk about this a little bit later. But as we speak right now, tomorrow, as I'm filming this video, it is Saturday the 27th. Tomorrow, the Cowgirls and the Green Bay Packers play against each other. It's Micah Parsons' return to Dallas. And I hope to see two things. One, I need to see Micah Parsons sack Dak Prescott. I just need to do it. And then I just want to see the FU Jerry chants, respectfully. That's all I got to say on that. But yeah, Micah Parsons. So let's talk about this for a little bit. Micah Parsons requested a trade. He tried to work with Jerry Jones multiple times on this, and Jerry Jones is a very interesting individual because he obviously wanted Micah Parsons on his team, and Micah Parsons being the generational talent that he is. But the thing with Jerry Jones is he's very old school, old-fashioned, hard-nosed type of dude. And hey, I'm not going to say much on it. I respect the dude. He owns a franchise. I don't own a franchise, so I can't really say much on him. But he was very negligent, I want to say, in the way, and kind of secretive in the way that he was doing his contract negotiation with Micah Parsons. He did not want Micah Parsons' agent, which, keep in mind, Micah Parsons is represented by someone else. Micah Parsons hires a representation for him to do his contract work, for him to do this stuff that his agent can do, while Micah Parsons, granted, I know he hasn't been playing because of back issues, but he has been playing for the Packers. Well, Jerry Jones is like, hey, no, fam, like, I only want to communicate with Micah, or Michael, as he says, his words, not mine. But I only want to communicate with Micah when it comes to contract negotiations. And anytime his agent was involved, he wouldn't do anything. He wouldn't do anything. But the second his agent left the room, and there was one time where Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons was in his office together, and geared into negotiation. He said he wants to be here and all this stuff, and then it got into a contract talk, and then Micah Parsons kind of realized, like, hey, we probably shouldn't be talking about this. My agent's not here. Like, I want my agent to be involved in this. He's like, let me get my agent. And then Jerry Jones is like, no, nah. Agents can't be involved. This is just me and you. Are you a man of your word? You want to shake on this? And, like, I get it. Hard-nosed, old school. I can't say totally get it. But, like, I get the concept. I get the idea, right? But, like, this is Micah Parsons. This is generational talent. Probably between him, Aaron Donald, which obviously is retired, TJ Watt, and then Myles Garrett, 4 of the best defensive players we've seen this decade. Well, and you're telling me because his agent wasn't involved that you're like, you know what, fam? It's okay. We don't need Micah Parsons. He has had too many back issues anyway. He's not even playing for us. And then I do applaud you, Jerry. You did trade him for 2 first-round picks. I applaud you for that, Jerry. So the offer that they got, obviously, if you guys haven't known by now, if you've been living under a rock, is Micah Parsons got traded from the Dallas Cowgirls to the Green Bay Packers, and then instantly was paid $47 million annually. He got a ridiculous payday. Like, he got a bag and a half, bro. And it was funny too, because like the Cowboys, he said he would have taken, like, obviously he wanted more money. He wanted to become the highest defensive player, right? Non-quarterback out there. But, like, he was very open and told the Cowboys, hey, I want to be here. I will take less money as long as you guys pay me what my worth is, but I will take less money than what I should be deserved as long as I can get a ballpark for that, right? Because we saw, what was it? Myles Garrett requested a trade from the Browns, and the Browns said, how about I give you 40 M's? And he's like, where do I sign? I mean, I would too, though. Then we saw, what was it? Max Crosby got like 40.25. Like, I personally was thinking Micah Parsons might get 42, 43, right? Nah, the Packers said, hold my beer, fam. Here's 47. Yeah. Micah Parsons getting traded to the Packers is wild. And then the Packers looked really good to start the season until, spoiler alert, they lost to the Browns of all teams. That's almost as bad as losing to the Panthers when you're the Falcons, but that also happened. So, I don't know. You tell me what's worse. We're going to talk a little bit of football. I'm going to give you my expectations of the channel. I know it's a weird video. I kind of just wanted to get on here, tell you guys where I've been, rant a little bit about sports, and then give you guys, like I said, my expectations for this channel and what the future holds. So, that being said, what we kind of got to go over a couple things we've missed. The NFL has been crazy. The Bengals are an interesting team, right? Because you paid Jamar Chase, and then you pay T. Higgins, and then you draft a guy who you don't pay till like the end of training camp. Joe Burrow's offensive line, you're like, oh, sure, Joe Burrow doesn't need an offensive line, but we're going to give a $14 million extension to Trey Hendrickson, so he makes like what I think is like $35 million annually this year or some shit like that. We're not going to protect Joe, but we're going to get him a little bit of defensive help, but we're not going to add any defense from last year because our defense was already so atrocious last year. So we're just going to double up on our defense that we had last year and just pay them a little bit more money because we had such a bad year last year that it couldn't possibly go worse, right? So you're like, let's not give Joe Burrow an offensive line. Let's pay Trey Hendrickson. Let's pay our wide receivers, which I can't speak too much on that because I was a fan of T. Higgins getting paid. I'm a fan of anybody getting a payday, if we're being honest. But T. Higgins definitely fleeced the Bengals. Let's just be honest. Now, you're 4 weeks into the season, and Joe Burrow is out for 3 months with turf toe. And y'all, I know as crazy as turf toe sounds, you're like, turf toe? Like isn't that turf toe probably? Like that's a good version of turf toe. Man, pointing on this is so weird because like right now when I'm pointing, it kind of looks like I'm pointing at my leg right now, but like I'm actually pointing this way. So it's so weird. Anyhow, cameras off topic. Anyhow, getting back to what I was saying, turf toe is very serious. As silly of a name as it is a very serious thing, and Joe Burrow will be out for most likely most of the season, 3 months, which puts him back December, January-ish, which is like a playoff push if the Bengals are there. So we will see, but it sucks for the Bengals, and also obviously sucks for Joe Burrow. It sucks so much for Joe Burrow because of his career trajectory. It kind of reminds me of Andrew Luck. Obviously last year having an MVP type season, he's being so good. He has the talent around him. He has the arm. He has the potential to be great, but he just can't stay healthy. And the goddamn reason he can't stay healthy is because his O-line is fucking shit. I can't speak much on that, though, because I know I can't do better than his O-line, but in my defense, I don't have hands and a leg, so you wouldn't expect much better from me out there. My favorite team, I'm a New Orleans Saints fan. I know, I'm sorry. Let me have my moment, and, oh, just kidding. That's right. I'm not going to have a moment because the Saints might actually go 0-16 this year. And that's me being optimistic as a Saints fan. Okay, optimistic as a Saints fan. I'm going to say we're going to win 3 games this year. And I'm all on board for the tank for Arch Manning, or tank for a quarterback, I guess. But we also passed up on Shedeur Sanders multiple times. Not saying Shedeur was the answer, but he was there in the first round, the second round, third round, fourth round, fifth round. Ladies and gentlemen, we took, when we had the opportunity, right? Now, we took a 26-year-old Tyler Shuck. He was like a 5-year senior or something. And that's not to discredit his game or anything, but like, homeboy's coming into the NFL, older than me already. Like, I get it, the NFL, you maybe not have the biggest longevity of careers, but like, it was frustrating as a Saints fan. And I'm not trying to discredit Tyler Shuck as a person. I don't know him individually. But as a Saints fan and as someone who wants a quarterback and haven't seen a quarterback since Drew Brees, in all honesty, I mean, Famous Jameis was really fun. I loved that era of him as a backup. He's really good for a backup. But ever since Drew Brees, we haven't been able to find our quarterback. Dennis Allen was our previous coach, and he's always been a defensive-minded coach, and we've actually always had a really good defense. Cam Jordan, really bad year last year, and it's kind of mid this year, but like Cam Jordan's always been a top player for us. Demario Davis, ever since coming over from the Jets, has been a top linebacker from us. We had Zach Bond on our team a couple years ago, and then we let him go to the Eagles, and he turned into the player he is now. And like, it's just we've always had like a good defense, and it's not that our offense is abysmal. Chris Olave is an Ohio State prodigy. He has a lot of potential there. Rashid Shaheed's very quick. Back when we had Derek Carr, he was able to throw him some deep balls. Alvin Kamara is good old reliable, consistent. We got him in 17 draft, which is crazy to think that's been 8 years ago. But like, as a Saints fan, I'm trying to be optimistic and hopeful for this year, but our schedule is, for a bad team, we have a pretty tough schedule, but we're also a bad team. And then, like I said before, quarterback room. So most quarterback rooms has a win under their belt, or has a quarterback who knows what they're doing in the NFL, right? Right, the Minnesota Vikings are a great example. Carson Wentz, previous MVP candidate, is backing up J.J. McCarthy. So when J.J. McCarthy, granted he's not looked like J.J. McCarthy, but when J.J. McCarthy goes down with an injury, or J.J. McCarthy doesn't play so well, you can throw in a Carson Wentz, right? Or let's take the Falcons. The Falcons bench Michael Penix Jr. after not being able to score a point to the Panthers. By the way, hold on. Let's talk about that for a second. The Atlanta Falcons lost 0-30 to the Carolina Panthers, led by Bryce Young. I'm just going to say that one more time. The Atlanta Falcons lost 0-30 to the Bryce Young-led Carolina Panthers. Let that sink in. Anyhow, proceeding back to what I said, the Falcons benched Michael Penix Jr. and put in big man's Kirk O'Chains. He still was buns, but like they have a backup, right? Kirk Cousins, one of the most career earnings. I think he's third or fourth all-time in quarterback, which is shout out Kirk Cousins. But anyhow, going back to what I was saying about the Saints, right? Here is our quarterback room. We have Spencer Rattler, who I love me some Spencer Rattler. He was at OU for that 1 year. Obviously went to South Carolina, so I know him from college, and I was actually really high on him when he was in college. So I have a lot of praise for him that way, but it's just not panned out in the NFL. And I don't know if that's because the Saints offense looks atrocious. I don't know if that's Kellen Moore's not the best head coach for him. I also don't like Kellen Moore as a head coach, but that's just me personally. I'm okay with having him for a year, and then we look to see who's available next year. Anyhow, ranting. But we have Spencer Rattler, who I believe now is 0-9. 0-9 as an NFL quarterback. Does not, and I'm not trying to discredit him in a bad way, but like, he doesn't have a single win under his belt. And our backup quarterback is Tyler Shuck, who doesn't have a single game in the NFL because he's incoming as a 26, 27-year-old rookie. And then our third string quarterback is Jake Heiner. That's our quarterback room. So, like this week, for instance, tomorrow, we're facing Josh Allen and Buffalo Bills. Day of prayer for me. That's all I ask. We might lose 40-0. Dead ass, actually. But the Saints are definitely an interesting team. And I genuinely, though, think we're a quarterback away. Is that me being biased? Yes. Is that me being crazy? Also, yes. Do I care? No. Because I genuinely really do think we're a quarterback away. We have a solid enough defense. I do think we need, I know it's Kellen Moore's first year as not as a coach. I do think we need a defensive-minded coach. I prefer to have a defensive-minded coach. I've always been a defensive-minded person myself, so I prefer my team to have a defensive-minded coach. As much as I loved Sean Payton, I do like me a good defensive coach. So I think we need to go out and get a defensive-minded coach. Like, for instance, I was really big on Aaron Glenn this last year. I really wanted Aaron Glenn. But this upcoming offseason, I think we need to go get a better, more defensive-minded coach. A top quarterback, ideally Arch Manning, but also Arch has kind of looked like buns in college, so I don't really know if I want Arch, but then again, the upside is like so high that you obviously have to buy high on it. But like, what if he's just mid AF and then we stumble away that pick too? That would be a typical Saints thing to do. But yeah, the Saints dead ass might actually go 0-16. In other news in the NFL, is this like the year of blocking kicks? Because like last week in, what was it, week 3, we saw 4 block kicks in the same week. The Rams and the Eagles, it happened twice, back to back. Tell me the last time that's happened. Back to back blocked field goals, and then just to be that guy, Jalen Carter took it back to the house for like 76 yards as time expired when the Eagles had already won the game. Then, dude, the Jets and the Buccaneers were playing a game, bro. And I gotta shout out the Jets because I had the Buccaneers steamrolling them, and the Jets made it a game. And dude, like, he jumped over the dude. And usually when someone goes and jumps over someone, right, they push off on something, or they hit something, right, that's not a clean jump, or you just freaking can't, you don't have the hops and you can't jump over him, right? Nah, dude, clean as hell, jumps over him, doesn't touch him, clears him, blocks the kick. And not only does he block the kick, homeboy took that back for a tutty. Yeah, like Himothy. If you look up Himothy, you will see him in the dictionary. But craziness. And then it happened a couple more times, and I'm just like, wow, what am I watching? That is crazy. Because like last year, and in Madden, when you play online, unless you're playing in pro or rookie, there's like never any block kicks. So to see it, it's not something you see all the time. So what a crazy NFL season, considering all the blocked field goals. And like I said, 4 in 1 week is absolutely insane. In other news that's happening right now, baseball, and that's also, if I'm being honest with you guys, that's another reason why I partially took a break. I'm a Braves fan, and let me just put our season out there, okay? We started off, but we didn't bring back Max Fried, our masterpiece, as I called him, our ace for the past 6, 7. Oh God, I did the meme! Oh, holy shit! Sorry. Okay. Guys, I realize how much I say it and do that. It's bad. Anyhow, we've had Max Fried for the past like 5 to 8 years, and he's been wonderful. I was like, okay, you know, we still have Spencer Strider. We're still going to have Chris Sell. We still have Ronaldo Lopez. Like, we still have some solid guys, right? Like, I know we didn't bring Max Fried back. And then the other big thing was Ronald Acuna Jr. wasn't going to be healthy to start the season. But I'm like, okay, you know what? We don't have Acuna back for like a month. But I'm like, we just do a month, we're solid, right? And then the Braves started off the season 0-7. 0-7. They were doing their best impression of the Atlanta Falcons out there. Not trying to score, not trying to win, not trying to do anything. And then I was like, fuck, okay, well, shit. That wasn't my expectations, because coming into this year, expectations for the Braves was to be a World Series champion, was to be up there with the Dodgers, and was to be up there and beat the Red Sox. That was my prediction. Then Acuna came back, and he hit a homer on his first pitch he saw, and then the Braves actually became the quickest team back to 500 after starting the season 0-7. And I was like, we're lit. Hell yeah. Don't sleep on us now. And then Jerickson Peds Profar, as I nicknamed him, got suspended for 80 games for doing Peds, as you call it, or allegedly Peds. I don't know, but like he was suspended for 80 games. And so we was down Acuna for a little bit, and then we didn't have Peds for a little bit, and then we had to go get Alex Verdugo, but he wasn't really Alex Verdugo. He was just Alex Verdugo. yeah, so that's about it. He wasn't much after that. And then our outfield outside of Michael Harris. And also, can we talk about Michael Harris? Abysmal. I'm pretty sure I could bat better than him. And that's saying a lot because, you know, as Ocho Cinco said, the two hardest things in life is keeping a woman happy and entertained and hitting a fastball. And I'm pretty sure I could have done better than Michael Harris. But then he changed his swing in July, and he went from literally the worst hitter statistically in all of baseball to statistically one of the best hitters. OP then start extra base hits. Like, he went from batting 160 to like 367. And I was like, why couldn't you have done that sooner? Again, not trying to judge the dude, just as a fan of the team, right? So I'm like, okay, well, cool. And then obviously Ronaldo Lopez, one of our aces, he goes down early to start the season, right? We're like, okay, neck injury, 2 months. Turns out it's an entire season. We didn't get to see him at all after that. Okay, right? Spencer Strider comes back and instantly goes back on the IL because he got a hamstring. And then I think we kind of rushed him back as well. As much as I hate to say it, I feel like we kind of rushed him back because he didn't look too good. And we'll get into another topic about it in a little bit. But I made a video on him thinking he'd be the Cy Young, and he was the exact opposite of the Cy Young. And then there was Chris Sale. Chris Sale had actually a really good year. Statistically, it might not look at it. I think he's 5.5 altogether as like a 3.13 ERA, something like that. So like if you look at Chris Sale's statistical record, he was buns, he was mid at best, like he wasn't really it. But if you look at Chris Sale kind of pre-injury, post-injury, he was pitching really good. He was pitched into the 9th or the 8th inning of a game and laid it all out for a ball and broke his ribs. And that was like right before All-Star break. And I was like, okay, he's just going to be out for All-Star break. We'll come back. I didn't realize he broke his ribs, but I was like, we'll come back. The Braves will be good, right? Nah, fam, he's going to be out for 2 months, an actual 2 months. And then, again, keep in mind, that made our entire starting rotation from the day we started this season went down with an injury and was put on the 60-day IL or was done for the season. Ronaldo Lopez, done for the season. AJ Smith-Shawher had Tommy John surgery, was done for the season. Spencer Strider had his backs enforced, but he wasn't on the roster to start the season. Grant Holmes, guess what he needed? He needed surgery too. He didn't finish it. And then, of course, Chris Sale. And it just sucked to see. And then, obviously, we let Max Fried walk for nothing. We didn't even replace Max Fried because we just let him go to the Yankees. And the Yankees, I'm sorry, Chris, I know you're a Yankees fan, but the Yankees, of all teams, the Yankees, we let my masterpiece go to the Yankees? Like, that's just crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And then, after all that, we don't do anything during the trade deadline because we're like, you know what? We can't compete this year. We don't have a roster. Freaking Raisel Iglesias was butt cheeks. We're talking horrible. He didn't know how to pitch a fastball for the life of him for the first 4 months of baseball. He got it together at the end of the year, I will say that. But the beginning of it, he was trash. He couldn't save a game for the life of him. And we had Marcell Ozuna from the Braves. We were maybe going to shop 2 of them around, but we couldn't really get the value on it. So then AA came out and said, okay, we're playing for 2026. We're going to try to get people for 2026. But then guess what? We start playing good baseball. But then at this point, the Mets fell off. The Reds kind of do good. The Dodgers and Padres are doing them things. The Marlins doing their things or whatever. But guess what? We didn't make no moves during the deadline. Also, I know I'm ranting, but in 1-run games, we played, I think, in a total of 45. I kid you not. It was between 30 and 45 1-run games. And our record for 1-run games was 25 and 34. Or it was some ridiculous amount where we had and there was 11 games in a row or something like that where we lost. That was 1-run games. So if you turn half of those games around, or if you even that 11-game losing streak into a 5-game win streak for 1-run games, the Braves are above 500 team. We're right there with the Mets and the Reds for a playoff spot. If you just turn some of those, so as bad of a season as it has been, we thankfully have picked it up. We were on a 10-game win streak until we then suddenly lost 2. But I think we can pick it up and be a lot better last year. But it was tough to be a Braves fan this year. And then just day in and day out. Oh, sorry, there was a bug. Day in and day out watching that team just underperform. It was tough on me. And then I was just like, man, me being a Jazz fan, the Jazz were absolute doo-doo this past year. We got Ace Bailey, though, so I had that to look forward to. And then as a Saints fan, that's how I feel about a Saints fan. And then I'm like, the Braves are like the one, like my saving grace, right? And the Braves were definitely not my saving grace this year. So it is what it is, but that's kind of reasons why I went away from recording. So the Braves, very interesting. But that being said, postseason, and guys, holy cow, what a crazy way. The Tigers are about to have the biggest fall off we have ever seen. Almost as big as, and I hate to say it, the 2017, I believe, Atlanta Braves, when we choked away a game and then we lost to the Cardinals, and the Cardinals end up I don't want to talk about it. The Tigers were the best team to start the season. They were the first team to 40 wins. Tarek Skubal looked like he was, and might still be, the Cy Young. He's looked really good, started in the All-Star game. They had Javi Baez move to center field. He kind of had a resurgence in life, right? So much good happened for the Tigers. And then the Guardians have kind of just like been mid all year. The Twins couldn't figure it out with Buxton and everything, end up trading half their roster. And then you're like, okay, well, the Tigers are obviously going to run away with the division, right? The Guardians haven't been them. J-Ram's been performing, but like outside of that, nothing's really been happening. So at this point, everybody thought it was the Tigers division to lose, right? The AL Central was the Tigers. You thought. The Guardians actually now lead it right now. They went on this like 8 or 9 game win streak, and then the Tigers actually went on a 7 game losing streak. They're going into the final week right now. The Detroit plays a really big series against Boston. Boston's technically already clinched their playoff spot on a triple. Boston clinched on a triple. That was fun. But Detroit has a very big series against Boston, and then if they potentially lose it, and they just might be out of the mix because Cleveland has surged back into leading the division. If the Astros get the tiebreaker or win more games, the Tigers just miss entirely. And we go from the Tigers being one of the most consistent teams that we thought was going to be in the playoff picture to just gone. Like outside of that, we've seen the Blue Jays, we've seen the Yankees and the Red Sox stay afloat, and then the Blue Jays have soared, and then the Mariners and the Astros are kind of like having a mid-off on who wants to be worse but like still win the division. And then talk about fall-offs, the Rangers freaking had a biggest choke. That they choked away their playoff chances. Granted, it hurts that Corey Seager went down, but they choked that one away pretty bad because they had a like 77% chance going into the final week, and now it's down to less than 1%. So the MLB season, and that's just the AL side of things. In the NL side of things, the Mets, which I don't know if y'all remember, but the New York Mets paid a guy by the name of Juan Soto $765 million over 15 years. This is the same Mets team that paid Scherzer $200 million, and I believe it was Jacob deGrom $200 million during the same offseason. Maybe it was Justin Verlander, or I don't know. It was some weird shit where they spent $400 million on their pitching, and then they didn't make the postseason and had both those guys on their roster. And I was just like, man. And now you have a Juan Soto who is making up $765 million of your payroll, and you might lose to the Reds and not even make the postseason. Absolutely wild if you ask me. So like that's what's going on in the baseball world of things. That's kind of a recap / reflection of what y'all have missed and where I've been. Like I said, guys, my apologies. I should have communicated instead of just falling off the face of the earth. So I apologize for that. That being said, here is my expectations and what to expect from this channel and what you guys can expect going forward. So this channel, I am going to post on this channel bi-weekly. So you will see this video. 2 weeks from now, you will probably see another video. I might go a little crazy. I might splurge for a couple, and you might see back-to-back. You might see weekly videos. I am not promising and I'm not guaranteeing weekly videos. I know I will burn myself out doing weekly videos. I also have a full-time job and 6 fantasy teams. Weird flex, and other things I do outside of this, so, and my TikTok, which I'll get into that as well. So I don't want to burn myself out. I don't want to overcommit to you guys. I don't want to say I'm gonna do this, and then not do anything, but I can commit to bi-weekly. I know I can do that, so that is what I'm going to commit to. On that note, I also want to, I know this was kind of the opposite of it because it was, like I said, a reflection of where I've been, and then like, hey, well, this is what we missed. Going forward, Each video is going to be specifically related. I might break it up in segments like I have in the past, but going forward, it will probably only be one sport related. So if it's going to be a football day, strictly only football. If it's going to be basketball, strictly only basketball. Media day, by the way, it's happening. Basketball's coming here soon. Zion looks really good. And then, of course, if it's baseball or football, I kind of, one thing and some advice I've gotten on a couple of my videos in the past is I like how long they are, but my audience, it's hard to stay tuned that entire time, especially if I'm talking about multiple subjects all throughout. So I said, okay, you know what? I can split that up. If I just need to do a basketball, just do baseball, just do football, I'm a-okay with that. That might mean my videos go from that where they're right now at 45 minutes to an hour. They might be to that 30 to 45, 20 to 45 minute gap. Then obviously I want to know your guys' puts on that. Let me know, do you prefer when I do each section and talk about it all together, or would you prefer each section and then shorter videos? Let me know your guys' comments on that, and we'll go from there. And then that being said, I do have a TikTok as well. If y'all don't follow my TikTok, please go follow the TikTok. It's at handsdownpod. Also follow my Instagram at handsdownpod as well. And on there, you'll see a lot of short form content. I am going to be posting my initial reactions. Like I just mentioned a second ago, I'm in 6 fantasy leagues this year. You know how hard it is to be in 6 fantasy leagues and watch Sunday football? I am watching 3 games, because I put 1 game on the TV, I put highlights on the other TV, and then I put a 3rd game on my phone, and then I have my fantasy teams open on my computer. You know how hard it is to watch 3 games and 6 fantasy teams, and also try to watch your favorite team while the Braves are playing? It's very complex, but I absolutely love doing it, and I'm going to continue to do it. I'm going to talk about football reactions. I might talk about my fantasy teams. In week 1, I went 6-0. Since then, not so great, but I still have a winning record in every league, so I'm happy with that. Like I said, by postseason, baseball's here. You might get on and me talk about a game 1, a game 2, if there's a walk-off. Just initial reactions to that. My TikTok is going to be a lot of short-form reactions and then yap sessions. This is a yap session. My TikTok's a yap session too. It's going to be like, holy cow, this is happening, or my thoughts on it. But it's just going to, all my raw initial thoughts and reactions on everything, right? And then I'm going to compose those all together. I'm going to do a segue about a certain topic of whatnot, and then I will make that into a YouTube video that I will then come and present to you guys, which will be posted bi-weekly. Alrighty, that's my commitment to you guys. Bi-weekly YouTube videos. I'm going to unofficially spam my TikTok. I'm not going to say I'm going to post daily, because I really can't commit to posting daily. Like I said, I still do have a life outside of this, but I'm going to do my best to just post as much as I can. The last thing I want to do is I want to interact with you guys. This channel is not just supposed to be about me and be about me yapping, and a lot of it has been about me yapping. I want to interact with my audience. I want to talk about things with you guys. I want to talk about our fantasy teams. Like, if y'all want to talk fantasy with me, if you want to give me fantasy advice, if I need to give you fantasy advice, I would love to do that. If you guys have certain topics, certain anything y'all want me to talk about that's sport related, that's basketball, football, baseball related, let me know. Be in my comment section. I would love to talk about what you guys want, because at the end of the day, I want to interact with you guys, and I want to be there for y'all. I don't just want to continue to do my own thing and feed it to you guys every time, but eventually I want to get to the point where I'm interacting more with y'all. Okay, so that's my commitment to you guys. The next video that you guys can expect on this channel, like I said, bi-weekly, but I'm probably gonna splurge and spoil you guys a little bit and post next week. I'm not gonna promise anything, but most likely. But it's going to be a postseason preview of baseball, so I kind of want to post it next week, because postseason literally starts on Tuesday technically. So you might get that as the ALDS and NLDS are going on. What we're going to do in that video is one of my first videos on this Hands Down podcast was a baseball reflection coming into the season. So we're going to take a look back at that, how smart or dumb I was. I know I was pretty thrown off with my Spencer Strider pick. You can flame me in the comments for that one. But we'll look back at some of my other predictions, then also talk about my predictions going into this postseason, your guys' predictions going into this postseason. And then on my TikTok, we'll obviously be talking about those games going forward. That's what to expect on this channel, okay? I know this was a little unorthodox of a video. I know I've been gone for so long. I apologize. I am back. This is my commitment to you guys. Please hold me accountable to that. Be in my comment section. Blow me up if I don't be posting. Let me know. Follow me on my socials. Like I said, I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. That's going to be where some short form content is. And I'm so happy to be back. I'm so ready to grind this out with y'all. Pause. And end of 2025, beginning of 2026 is looking good, hands down. You see what I did there?